Let's go to the Packers and Bengals. And Cincinnati coming off a nice win against Pittsburgh, which right now is a very bad football team. 20-10 on Monday night. Green Bay had a much easier time of it, John. They absolutely throttled the Redskins last week. Aaron Rodgers had 380 yards passing at the half in that game. Had they decided that they wanted to keep throwing the ball, I think he would have thrown for 600. The Packers Rodgers will have a tougher task this week, and Cincinnati's defense a lot better than Washington's.
Yeah, when I look at the Green Bay Packers, for me, it's about matchups. I mean, when they played 49ers, the team that steamrolled them in the playoffs, tough matchup because they have difficulties on defense stopping the ground game. Well, last week, Washington, a bad secondary. Doesn't matter if Green Bay has their running backs banged up or how much they're going to run the football. It's all about passing with the Packers, and they just shredded. And so here's a game where it's more like week one for me. This Bengals defense is great, even underrated at times. Ranked 6th and 7th in the NFL in each of the last 2 seasons. A lot of talent and depth on defense. Bengals in September 3-0-2 against the spread. They're also on a terrific run under the radar, 8-2-1 against the spread. I think the matchup is with the home team here, Dave. I'll take the Bengals.
I'm going to look at the total for now in this game. Green Bay is not going to run the ball in this game. Not going to happen. Starks will be playing. I know he had over 100 yards against the Redskins, but again, that was against a soft defense, and he will not be facing that here. So I think Green Bay is going to know it going in, and I think they're going to just air the ball out all day long. I'm also, despite the fact that the Packers defense pitched a really terrific game in the first half last week against RG3, I'm also still skeptical about the strength of the Green Bay defense. It's a season in the NFL where, at least for the time being, now this may change later on as the weather changes and numbers adjust, but I think you got to look at overs where you can find them. And with teams that are as high-powered as Green Bay, I think you take a natural look at the over on a weekly basis until the numbers catch up. And they will at some point, but if you look at the first 2 weeks, haven't come remotely close. The first game against San Francisco, loads of points there. What was it, 62, I believe? And you saw what happened last week with the Redskins. I'm not going to deviate from that. I know Cincinnati's a better defensive team than offensive, but I do think they're going to get their share of points here. I don't think anybody's shutting down Green Bay. I don't know that the Packers put up 35 or something like that here, but are they going to get to 20? Yeah, I would think so, and probably beyond that. So my take is to stay with what is working, and as far as the Packers are concerned, that would be the over. The Bengals might have a lot to say about that, and this one could get dicey because of their defense, but I think over.
Well, Dave, what I think about this game is I don't understand it. I know that Aaron Rodgers is a public guy. He's one of the best quarterbacks in all of football. Packers at the Bengals, if you look at the rosters of these two teams, the Bengals have the better roster. No, they don't have Aaron Rodgers. They have Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton is kind of a conservative guy. He doesn't really, maybe it's the offensive scheme, the head coach, the offensive coordinator, but they're very conservative. They have such talent on offense. I believe they should be dominating, not just winning games. Yes, they've been to the playoffs the last few years, but it's usually 1 and out. They don't score a lot of points when it comes down to big pressure games. They're just not utilizing their offensive skills as they should. On defense, they're very solid. You don't get a lot of points against this team. The Packers, Aaron Rodgers, this guy's one of the best in the league. He can score points, over 30 points a game first couple games. Even against San Francisco's vaunted defense, he scored a lot of points. Last week, I kind of throw that out because the Washington Redskins, they really right now do not have a defense. They don't have an offense that can keep them off the field, so they get kind of tired out. And Rodgers took totally advantage of that, scored a lot of points. But this is a big road game. What I don't understand here is Cincinnati opened the favorite. Now you're looking at the Packers, a 2.5 or 3 point favorite on the road. I do not agree with that line move. I'm not saying that Cincinnati should be the winner of the game. I'm saying they should and deserve to be at least the favorite in the game because this is a playoff team, no real big visible injuries, better roster, offensive line strong, defense is strong. They deserve to be the home favorite in the game. It's going to be a war. I don't agree with the line, however.
Before we get to our second game, we're going to check in with Jeff Saad. He is also a man on the street this weekend, and he's got a free NFL play right now. Hi, Jeff.
Thanks, guys. Got a free pick coming up in the NFL, but first, it's week 3 of NFL campaign. I've got a blockbuster special, a pair of huge releases, my college dog of the month Saturday, and my AFC game of the month on Sunday with a 2-0 guarantee. You will go 2-0, or the rest of September football is free. 2 games at $10. If you sign up early, you'll get a high roller release scoring tonight. Call LVSS at 1-866-575-8916. Your free play comes to the NFL on Sunday as the Colts and 49ers battle in San Francisco. This is the first road game for the young Colts in a terrible situational spot all the way to the West Coast. The Colts were a playoff team last year, but the first road game, a 41-21 loss at Chicago, was a 10-plus dog. The 49ers have so much balance and talent and have a huge edge defensively on the Colts. The 49ers are on a 25-12-1 against the spread run, 15-6-1 ATS at home. Your free play for Sunday, the 49ers. Once again, get a pair of huge releases, my college dog of the month Saturday and my AFC game of the month on Sunday with a 2-0 guarantee. You'll go 2-0, or the rest of September football is free. 2 games at $10. If you sign up early, you'll get a high roller release scoring tonight. Call LVSS at 1-866-575-8916.
Okay, Jeff, thanks a lot, and good luck with the big plays this weekend. Well, Bears and Steelers on Sunday night. John, I think it's safe to say I know where the public is going to be on this football game, and it's not on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Absolutely right. You know, when you look at these two teams, there's really 2 things that stand out. One is defense, and one is offensive line. Huge difference. And really, that gets back to fundamental football. I mean, the Bears' defense is absolutely loaded. They've allowed 340 and 350 yards in the first 2 games of the season. You know, that's very good in this day and age of all-out offense. And then the offensive line, which has been such a big problem the last 2 years, I thought that would be a huge problem with Mark Trestman coming in wanting to throw the football more. Well, it's been phenomenal. Only 1 sack by Jay Cutler in these 2 games. So this team is still learning the playbook, but very much clicking. And then the defense. How about 6 turnovers in 2 games they've been able to turn? So this is a powerful team in the NFC that they're not going to go away. Steelers, on the other hand, boy, as you mentioned, all kinds of problem. Ben Roethlisberger, 2 touchdowns and 2 picks in the 2 games. He clearly misses speedy wide receiver Mike Wallace. The offense, 9 and 10 points in the 2 games. Steelers, when they play on grass, you know, they're 5-15-1 against the spread, and that's a trend that it's hard to see that turning around with all the problems that they have. So, Jim, I'm going to go with Chicago in this one.
Well, I can understand why. When you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, the demise of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I mean, it's an aging team. They kind of a throwback club. Now, of course, they're trying to go up tempo because all they really have left is Ben Roethlisberger. They've lost wide receivers in Wallace. They've lost a running back in Bell. Their defense, Harrison, Hampton, they got the tremendous regression of this team. This is not the Pittsburgh Steelers of my father or my grandfather's era. This is a different team, and they're really in a rebuilding mode. They lost all of their preseason games. They've lost the first 2 games in the regular season, and they have not looked good at any point the entire year. So, you know, look at the Bears. They bring in a whole new coaching staff. They have a very talented quarterback who's had a lot of offensive coordinators over the years. They got Brandon Marshall at wide receiver, who Jay Cutler absolutely loves going to. Mark Trestman, who is an up-tempo coach that's been in the NFL, had success as an offensive coordinator, went up to Montreal, won a couple of Grey Cups up there. And this is a team on the upswing. They're going to give the Packers and the Lions a run for their money for that division, believe me. I do agree that the Bears in this game should be the favorite. I know it's a Sunday night game. I know Pittsburgh's a home dog. A lot of people like that. But this is not a healthy Pittsburgh Steelers team. The Bears deserve to be the favorite.